IGP Yohunu. Yeah, the new sheriff in town. IG, good morning. But this joke is not with, respect of yours. We hope that your leadership will be what? Out of this world. We are hoping that everything your predecessor couldn't do, you will do. And especially our chairman, Wontumi matter, the Akunta mining one. You know, engineer Kenashibe, who is on the show with us, myself, Kwame Saponsedu, and Adam Senanu, we presented a petition to the CID against Akunta mining and Chairman Wontumi, the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the MPP. It's over 2 years now, and the case hasn't gone to court. So IG will be coming to your this office to remind you, you weren't in charge, but now you are in charge. That case has to go. Then we'll go to Attorney General too. But the point I was making is that, you know, when we're younger, we had the monies that police take, etc. There's a way, there's a sharing formula that it will go up, even to the desk of the IG. I'm sure people have heard this.
Well, it still remains a joke.
Some of these anecdotes, be careful.
Can you see this?
Yes. They said there is a sharing formula, sir. Yeah, it gets to the top. Don't play with it. So it's to buttress the point that, please, IG Yohunu, when you are changing the commanders in your name, Ayamfuri, and that the Sefi area there is bad. Ayamfuri too, look. It's crazy. Some of my lawyers are telling me that, look, you'll find the NDC Galamseyers on one side of the town, the road, and then the MPP people at the other end. Galamsey, plain side, Ayamfuri. It's another spot, all right, or another town, etc. So please, let's give IG Yohunu all the support it deserves. And so it should start with the transfers. The transfers are very, very important. And then the cases that are pending, especially, can you imagine if this Chairman Wontumi matter goes to court? You know the chilling effect it will have. Then it will send a message to the small fishes that, look, even a regional chairman of the MPP is in court. I know JM said it. You know, that was the context in which he once said that when he comes, he will free the Galamseyers who have been caught. And then the political spinners took it, the spin doctors took it out of context. Because let's make this last point. He was saying that catch the big fishes, deal with the big fishes, and then the small fishes will fall in place.
In fact, that was actually going to be my message. Because if we're dealing with, and I'll come to you, in a bit. But if we're dealing with, for instance, using the chassis number as a way of tracing the financiers, how far-reaching will that be? Especially when these so-called big men and influential people who are financing this illegality will certainly not put their names on traceable documents. I mean, there's a beneficial ownership concept where these people would have other people's names as the owners of the excavators. So how are you going to identify these people are just
So what happens is that, one, as you mentioned, beneficial ownership. So the Registrar General, right, brought that new way of registering companies. That, yes, the company may be in the name of Darrell, but if I'm the owner, Darrell in registering has an obligation to disclose the true owner, right? Yes, so even if the company is in the name of Mr. X, in the same form, he has to disclose the true owner. But the truth to be told is that our systems are so weak. So it appears, yes, beneficial owner on paper, but in practice, it's more complex. People are dodging, right? But what engineer Ashibe is saying, we actually passed a law that will track these excavators. So whoever it is, whoever's name is being put there, it's a lot of money. So if, let's say, you are the big man, you've bought each excavator, let's say the $200,000 we are using for the purpose of this program. You've bought it and you put it, let's say, in the name of, is it 9 pence? That's 9 pence, right? So if you put it in the name of your cameraman, 9 pence, and 9 pence has, that's Evans. Is that 9 pence or Evans?
That's Evans, actually.
Evans, so cameraman, Evans. So if Evans has 10 excavators in his name, so that's $2 million, right? If we catch all the 10 excavators and you won't come out, sure. So it's Evans who will continue dealing with. So all engineer Kenashibe is saying is that, so Evans has his name on the 10 excavators, but Evans is in Accra, and somebody else comes to rent and take, let's say, the excavators to Ayamfuri. So the excavators are caught in Ayamfuri. What we're saying is that, yes, So it will be traced to Evans. If the real owner is still hiding behind Evans, I know there is a way you can investigate and get to the real owner. But even assuming we are not getting to the real owner, at least the fact that we've traced to Evans, it means that we will take Evans on by the law. We'll take Evans on. So that's not bad. You see, so it's not as if there is no law at all. The law we pass, the LI, to track that when they come in, they will put in the tracker. Yeah, so implement it. So everywhere the excavator is, we will see. Because the tracker having been put on the excavators, and then they can be monitored from Accra. Anywhere we see wherever the excavator is going, we will see. And so we can even immobilize it. So there's a lot of technology. What we are lacking, but at least so far the government says, the minister says they've taken back 7 forests. It's the political will. That is where the main problem is. It's not that we lack solutions. We have a lot of solutions. It's just the political will. And so what we need to do is to do what we are doing now. Keep pushing the politicians. You see, the minister has been going to the forest. He says they've taken over 7. Except that the 7 he says they've taken, maybe Mr. Amabua, what you should be doing is that I think they should add journalists. Journalists should be embedded in the teams, so that independent journalists will come and report. Because when Mr. Kperbu said that they've recovered 7 of the forests, Erasmus, Asaredonko, who has done a lot of work in this area, he said he would have been happy if the minister had mentioned which forest, because you know he's independently also doing work there. Then he can corroborate or otherwise. Because then in the program he also put to mention that there were some of the forests that as recent as about a week or 2 ago, there were activities there. So when Mr. Amabua, the minister, said they had recovered 7 of the forests, so, and based on what Erastus Asaredonko is saying, then we're left wondering, is Mr. Amabua saying that all the 7 were recovered, let's say, in the last 6 days? We didn't get those details. So what we are saying is that it will help in your work, Mr. Amabua, that you embed journalists in the teams, so that the journalists will also capture, of course, independent journalists. You remember in this Galamsey fight, there are some journalists who have aided it. You remember the Mante,
this was captured in the
Yes, so it tells you that when you see evil going on such a mass scale, you find so many different professionals aiding it. This is organized crime. So don't be sad. Of course, just as you find journalists, you find lawyers, you find doctors, you find, I mean, it's, for this problem to be on such a mass scale, I tell you, you find different professionals and technocrats helping in this, right? So it's good that, all the point I'm making is that, so I was talking about independent journalists, journalists who have a track record of being independent and having integrity. So that when they come out and tell us that, yes, I was embedded in this team, the team went to Tanon Imre Forest, and this is what happened, I'm sure then we'll take some comfort in it. But when the politician alone comes to say that, and especially as Erasmus, who has been doing some work, is raising some doubts, then you are like, hey, is this political talk or is real? You say, because, I mean, in fact, the Galamsey problem is bigger than Kperbu. The minister, yeah, the Galamsey problem is bigger than him. So it takes the whole of our society. So if you are setting up a team and sending only soldiers and police, then it tells you that, no, your team is not complete. Your team is not complete. And even there is a way they can even set up so that wherever they are, we will get this, what do you call it, feed, live feed. Yes, whilst they are there. Of course, when I say live feed, it doesn't mean put it on TV. But people will be somewhere monitoring.
I get the intent.
Yes.
So the whole idea is to carry the people along.
Perfect.
So that in every step of the way, it's not so much going to be about what you government officials are saying. It is what we can also see for ourselves. Because, yes, indeed, these 7 forest reserves that have been reclaimed, which forest reserves are those? We know about 4 or 5 of them based on the work of Erasmus and other journalists and my colleagues here, Godwin Asedeba and others, that we know illegal mining is taking place there. But if there's been this retrieval or reclamation, let us know. It helps all of us, does it not?
The issues involving Galamsey, I think we've come to the conclusion that our drug trade is Galamsey. Galamsey today has been elevated to the status of drug trade. One, the reward is massive. Either a kilo or an ounce of gold today is $74,000. How many bags of maize would you harvest to get $74,000? How many crates of egg can you harvest to get $74,000? So it is when you look at the economics, that is when you begin to appreciate why the fight is becoming another problem on all of us. Mm-hmm. It is until you take time and look at how in God's name would a man who had looked after his children, they've completed university, one morning wake up and decide that he will sell his cocoa farm to Galamseyers. What will cause that? Look, the accounts have a saying, Edidida, any didi prekum. There's a reason for that saying. The cocoa farm had provided sustainable income for you for 30, 40 years. In fact, generations. You know, without cocoa, we won't have the University of Ghana. Prof is here. The seed money, the foundational money for the establishment of the University of Ghana today is cocoa. The toils of farmers. And that is why one of the halls is named, and he was, you know. The point I am making is that... was their song. The point I am making is that we need to appreciate first the economics. What will make a farmer wake up one morning and decide that I will sell my cocoa farm for Galamseyers to come and excavate the earth and leave the place terrible? The economics. So until maybe we find livelihood support systems that can provide the same level, this fight may appear to be a bit more prolonged. You see, it is convenient, and like we do, to say it is lack of political will. President Mahama, having assumed the leadership of this country, and with the benefit of hindsight, I recall vividly, President Mills has negotiated the 3 billion Chinese facility to build a lot of projects and others, including a Tuabo Emeni. Now, President Mahama takes over and started fighting the Galamseyers with Honorable Inusa Fuseni, which resulted in the deportation of over 1,000 Chinese nationals. The Chinese had the courage to say that this mass deportation, and among others, it resulted in the delay in the disbursement of the Chinese facility, the 3 billion. Apparently, gold was going back to China more than cocoa. Remember that it is cocoa that we use as part of the seed money for the Bui Dam. And so we needed to escrow the cocoa receivables to be able to pay the Bui Dam, the money we use for Bui Dam. But when they compare how much gold was coming to China compared to how much cocoa was given to them, gold was doing far better. But President Mahama took that political risk, the political decision to deport Chinese nationals. It never went well until he left power in 2016 with bulk of the CDB loan outstanding. Because the Chinese said, okay, you continue with your fight. We'll also see what we'll do with our money. First of all, you cannot go to China, like me, to do illegal mining in China, because the penalty there is death. Yesterday, I met students, geological students in KNUST, on this same mining thing. I was encouraging them that possibly they should come out with innovative ways. Look, when Don Diego de Azambuja came here, he was motivated by gold. Why? Why do we have Elmina? The mine.
The mine, yeah.
It's because of mining. We have always been doing mining. What has created a problem, an engineer would tell you, is the skill of the distraction. So nobody is against mining in and of itself. The problem is the skill. Our people have always engaged in mining, and that is why they got the name Galamsey, gather and sell. You understand? Right. It is from this word gather and sell, because people have always engaged in mining, but the skill of distraction, the greed associated with what we have. Our people were doing surface mining many years ago.
Yes.
But look at the distraction of our forest. It was minimal.
So how are these solutions going to work? I mean, really, the proposal made so far about tracking...
no, so that is where I am coming there. You see, if 2 or more people are just doing surface mining, the level of distraction is always minimal. It is when they bring the excavator into the conversation, and the excavator is a mindless machine. Mindless. Once it starts its work, within a day, and you see, because when you rent them out, you pay per day, the people want to excavate more F within the day. Yeah. And so that is what encourages the scale of distraction. Because if you are taking a day, $2,000 to rent one excavator for a day, you want to work so much in order to fill in that $2,000 rent. So it is something that we also need to look. The tracking devices, look, is quite a good thing to do. Because, like somebody say, excavator no get leg. Somebody they carry out. Right?
Nice.
So you can always trace the machines. The payloaders that come to pick them, we know where they are. Right? Yeah. So in terms of the value chain, it is easier to identify the kingpins who are behind whatever is happening. If you recall during the campaign, H.E. the president made a point that, look, if you go to the pit and you find 15 people arrested, there's somebody who is going to get them the lawyer. In the 1990s to the 2000s, that was how the drug trade flourished. The big boys were behind. They will send you the couriers, right? And you know, for the drug trade, Ghana, we don't produce cocaine. The cocaine comes from South America through the vessels. They come to Ghana, and we do the transshipment to the other markets where the real consumption takes place. You understand?
Some consume here too.
Oh, I mean, when it comes to consumption, it's Europe and America. Now, the issue is that, you see, the issue is that at that time, what was happening is that the big boys who were behind, who go to the universities and others, pick the young people, give it to them, they get arrested. The same big boy will go and get you a lawyer. Until around 1995, you remember the famous case of Benjilo?
Yeah.
Benjilo,
so
yes.
when law enforcement officers zoomed on the big boys, it slowed the conversation. So the Republic versus Benjilo, read the facts. How in those days they could Osebonsu, alias Benjilo. If you read my Lord Justice Atuba's reasoning and their modus operandi, it's the same thing with Galamsey. So until the big boys in the conversation are put to book, or you bring them under the control of law enforcement officers, we're just joking. Like you see, you pointed out, yes, it is a fine proposal to suggest to the IGP to change his commanders. All they need is 6 months waiting period. And they'll ingratiate.
Ingratiate meaning what? Just put it in plain language.
Ingratiate.
You say it. No. I know what they're saying, but so they would be what? They attempt to compromise them.
It's a powerful
to bribe
force.
them.
It's a powerful force.
Oh, no, it's
you see, so we need to have a holistic, not the holier than thou conversation about how to eradicate this. One, by looking at the economics, the young people who really do the mining. Look, from February 2025 till date, under the watch of President Mahama, we have arrested no less than 300 persons involved in Galamsey. 300. That is how ruthless law enforcement officers have dealt with the phenomenon.
We have some videos of those arrests. We'll put it on
TikTok. But you see, is that enough? People say, no, let's go further. I am aware. And yesterday I listened to my senior brother, Engineer Adam, on one of the news out. You know, when the Honorable Mutaka, the Interior Minister, suggested that we may be looking at a situation where immediately after everything, we have to deport particularly the foreigners. We will not waste precious time in prosecuting them. Just deport them. But engineers suggested that, look, our borders are porous. They'll go and come back. Yeah. We have the famous case or infamous case of Aisha 1. She was actually deported. But not long, she came back and she was embedded in this country without anybody knowing until finally law enforcement officers actually zoomed on her. You understand? One young person or journalist who had really helped this cause is Erastus Asaredonko. I think I need to single him out for particular praise. The risk he's taken in order to get this fight going. Obviously, the media coalition against Galamsey have done a seriously good job in this fight. But you see, Alfred, the concept of beneficial owners. Myself and my learned senior here, we have been defense attorneys in white-collar crimes. It is not easily traceable. So you come say...
That's where the concern is.
Yes, so I'm coming.
The issue.
Yes, so I'm just looking at this. Asset tracing is an extremely difficult job when it comes to white-collar crimes. Yes, of course, you go to the company registration. The beneficial owner is the same person who registered or incorporated it. I don't need to have my face or my name on company registration to be beneficial owner. So the concept that beneficial owners ought to be listed in company documents to demonstrate that they are beneficial owner is a misconception. Why? Because to be the alter ego, which flows from the concept of beneficial ownership, it simply means who finally get the reward. Must I have my name on company registration to be the ultimate beneficiary of the outcome or the process of crime? No.
Okay.
No. So that in and of itself is a legal construct. But that legal construct does not solve the problem. Because all that you need to know is that this person appreciates that I put him to this task. And so at the end of the day, he will come and what? Do sales. But I don't need my name to be on document or to be listed as the beneficial owner in order to come to this. Then the question of the ally.
We'll come to that. I don't want to just go.
Oh, very.
Yeah, we'll come to that. No. Because you mentioned, no, we'll come to the ally. The big boys that you talk about, whom this whole objective or this new approach to the fight is to unmask the big boys and get them arrested. You cite...
No, I'm saying that, you see, in the past, I equate it to the drug trade.
The drug trade.
And in the 1990s, too.
No, I got the point.
Yes.
What I'm saying is that these big boys you talk about, some of them are politicians.
Yeah.
Who are funded. In fact, some of them have also had